guys, I'm going to show you a couple of the parts I'm using for my budget build. Now this is for someone else, it's going to be a good machine, not a great power horse. But it should last a long time and be very good. It's an ASRock board. It's compatible with Windows 7. It supports 1156 socket chips, i3, i5, i7. And it has the Intel H55 chipset with HD audio. So this board, for the price, it's a very, very good board. A large amount of features. So it has USB 3, has things like HDMI, eSATA. So anyway, it has 100% Japanese-made long-life capacitors. As you can see there, it supports DDR3 memory, very high-speed memory if you want it to be. You can share overclocking profiles. What else? It comes with a bunch of software, Instant Boot, Instant Flash, OC Tuner, full 1080p Blu-ray. So it's a full-featured board. Let's take a quick look at this board before I put it in my case. Let's give you a good look at all the USB ports, DVI, VGA, legacy, keyboard, HDMI, eSATA, USB 3.0, LAN port, and your audio options. It has the 8-pin EPS for your CPU, or you can use the 4-pin. If that's all your power supply has, you're fine using 4-pin. CPU is plugged in there, CPU fan that is, and there's a case fan header here and another case fan header down here. So very good. One issue I can see is your graphics card, if you use a graphics card, will go here. And it looks to me like if you try to change your memory, it's going to run into your graphics card. So you might have a problem there. But they did a good job with the SATA ports. They put 4 here and the 5th one down here so it wouldn't interfere with the PCI X16 slot. Good looking heat sink there. 3 USB interior headers there. And there's your front panel stuff like power switch, reset switch, hard drive activity LED, you know, that kind of thing. There's a speaker there. You can plug in a speaker. And if you have TV tuners or sound cards or whatever, some X1 slots, a regular PCI slot. HD audio there for the front panel. So very good. It has a number of very strange jumpers here that I haven't seen on my Gigabyte boards and stuff, and Asus boards, that apparently change the power to the USB. So I'm just going to leave those alone and hope they're alright, because the owner's manual this comes with is very thick and looks very good, but it doesn't have any information in it. Very little information. Most of it is in foreign languages, and that's how much is in English right there. And there's really not very much in there. So if this was my first build, I would really recommend you go to the ASRock site and download the owner's manual from there. The 24-pin power is in a good spot over here. There is no, IDE or floppy or any of that, but nobody uses that stuff anyway. So, it's okay. It does have a COM and a parallel port that nobody's going to use already anyway. So no heat pipes, because this setup isn't going to generate a lot of heat. I am using Core i3 550 for this build, and because it only has 2 DIMM slots, I want it to be upgradable in the future. So I'm going to use 1 single stick of Crucial DDR3 1333, 4 gigabytes of it, 1.5 volt memory. And this was not very expensive as far as memory goes. But Crucial is a very well-made brand. In fact, I think it's made in the US, in Idaho, a lot of it, by Micron Technologies. So we can support the United States if you live in the United States. So there's what I'm using. I just have an OEM DVD drive, comes wrapped in plastic wrap. Have an OEM bare hard drive, Western Digital, 500 gigabyte there. I'm using an Antec 380 watt power supply, but it's 80 plus bronze certified, so it should be okay. Not the greatest, but pretty good. And then my favorite case to use, the Cooler Master Elite 341, which I have a video on already. You can check that out. But this is mostly a look at the H55M-USB3 from ASRock. And it looks like it's going to be a very good board. I hope this works out. It certainly looks like it's going to work out great, and it has a lot of features. It's all put together, everything's tied up. You know, got the SATA cable tied up there. SATA cable tied up there, stuff tied together. You know, it could be done a little bit better, but with this case, there's plenty of open space over here where the CPU is and the fan pulling in air. Most of the spare wires are tucked in there because this is not a modular power supply. So I have things tied to this up here to hold those wires in there. Things tied up like this. So if I stand the case up, another thing is I have my hard drive kind of suspended there on the bottom. The airflow should come in through this vented filtered area here and get drawn back in through the power supply and out through the power supply, and also out this way and take the air out that way. So it should be good airflow. Also have, you know, the DVD drive, a card reader installed, and you can see that mesh in there. Actually has a foam piece inside to filter the air. So that is what you call a good little budget build. I've already hooked it up, downloaded all the software they need on it, almost. I'm almost done. So that is about it. And by the way, this case for, you know, $35 is a very good little case. If you do want to think about using it, it's the Cooler Master Elite 341, and it's just a good little case. It's nothing extravagant, but for most people it's really going to do a good job for you. Even with the toolless design here and here, it really works well. You know, even if you had to hold a card in, it would work fine. And it's just a good case all the way around. Easy to deal with, easy to work with. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.